The smell hit Officer Daniels before he even opened the door. Something foul, like rotting meat mixed with bleach. He covered his mouth with his sleeve and turned the old brass knob slowly. The door creaked open and there it was. A locked room no one had touched for years, yet a single light bulb still flickered above an old rocking chair. In that chair sat a woman's body, pale, lifeless, and half covered with a white sheet. Her eyes were wide open, staring at the corner of the room as if she'd seen something terrible before she died. On the wall behind her, written in shaky red letters, were the words, "He's still inside." Daniels froze. His radio crackled behind him, but he couldn't move. The door slammed shut from behind even though no one else was there. Who locked it? And who was he? The story of how that body ended up there began 3 weeks earlier with a babysitter named Claire Morgan and an old house on Elm Street. Claire wasn't one to believe in haunted houses or neighborhood rumors. She was 17, hardworking, and saving up for college by babysitting for local families. When Mrs. Patterson called her about a last-minute job on Elm Street, Claire hesitated. The place had a reputation, an abandoned house that recently got new owners, but no one had seen them much. Still, money was money. When she arrived, the sun was setting, and the house looked normal enough: 2 stories, grey paint peeling on the porch, and a large oak tree in front. Mrs. Patterson greeted her quickly, looking flustered. "I just need you to watch my nephew, Jacob. He's upstairs, already asleep," she said. Claire nodded. "No problem. Don't go into the locked room down the hall," Mrs. Patterson added suddenly. "It's storage, old furniture and things." Then she hurried out before Claire could ask anything else. The house felt cold inside, even though the heater was on. The old wooden floors groaned with every step. Claire sat on the couch and scrolled through her phone, but every now and then, she heard faint noises, soft creaks from upstairs, a whisper-like sound from the hall. She brushed it off. Old house noises, she told herself. At around 10 p.m., she decided to check on Jacob. The little boy was sleeping soundly. But as she turned to leave, she noticed something odd: a light shining faintly under the door across the hall. The locked room. Claire leaned closer. The handle was cold to the touch. Then she heard it, a low humming sound, almost like someone whispering a song inside. She froze. "Hello," she said softly. No answer. The light flickered once, then went out. She backed away quickly and shut Jacob's door. Probably an old bulb, she thought. But deep down, she felt something was wrong. The next morning, when Mrs. Patterson came home, Claire mentioned the light. "Oh, that's just the basement circuit acting up," Mrs. Patterson said too quickly. "You did fine. Thank you for staying." Claire nodded, but couldn't shake the image of that faint light. That night, she told her friend Megan about it over video chat. "That's creepy," Megan said. "Maybe there's a squatter living there or something." Claire laughed it off but decided to check the house's address online. What she found made her stomach drop. 3 years ago, a family had lived there. The mother disappeared without a trace. The police had searched everywhere except the locked storage room, which had been sealed shut after the case went cold. The same room Claire had seen a light coming from. A week later, Mrs. Patterson called again. "I need you to come tonight, same time." Claire hesitated. "I'm not sure. I'll pay double," Mrs. Patterson said. That settled it. When she arrived, it was raining hard. Thunder echoed as she stepped inside. The house felt darker this time, heavier. She checked on Jacob, asleep again. Everything looked normal, until she noticed the footprints. Wet footprints leading from the front door toward the locked room. Only one set. But Mrs. Patterson's car wasn't outside. Her hands trembled. "Hello," she called. No answer. Then a soft tap 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 from inside the locked room. She took a step back. The doorknob jiggled. Once. Twice. Then stopped. Claire's heart pounded. She grabbed her phone to call someone, but the signal was gone. Lightning flashed through the window, and in that split second, she saw something. A man's silhouette standing behind the curtain. Still. Watching her. She dropped the phone and ran upstairs to Jacob's room, locking the door. Jacob woke up, confused. "It's okay," she whispered, shaking. "We're safe." But from downstairs, She heard the door creak open. Slow, deliberate steps echoed on the wood floor. Then a man's voice, low, calm, almost whispering her name. Claire. She froze. How did he know her name? The footsteps stopped outside the door. The knob turned gently, once, twice. Then silence. She pressed her ear to the door, barely breathing. Nothing. She turned to grab Jacob, but the window behind him was wide open, curtains blowing in the wind. And the boy was gone. Claire screamed. She looked out the window, rain hitting her face. Nothing. No Jacob. No shadow. Just the storm. Downstairs, the humming began again, the same tune she'd heard from the locked room. This time, it was louder. Closer. And suddenly, the doorknob turned again, this time, with force. She stepped back, eyes wide, and whispered, "Please, no." The door burst open, and standing there in the hallway was a tall man in a soaked black coat. His face was pale, eyes dark and empty. And in his hand, he held Jacob's teddy bear. He smiled faintly and said he wanted to see his mother. Then the lights went out. The sound came again. 3 slow knocks. Each one heavier than the last. Samantha's breath caught in her throat. Her phone slipped from her hand, clattering onto the carpet. For a few seconds, the only sound in the room was her heart pounding in her chest. Then, the doorknob began to turn. Slowly. Gently. Like someone was testing it. She wanted to scream but couldn't. Her voice was frozen. She backed away from the window, eyes still fixed on the glass. Outside, through the thin curtains, the shape of a man stood still. No movement. No sound. Just standing there, facing her room. The lights flickered. And the baby started crying upstairs. That was when Samantha realized something: the house power wasn't out. Her phone charger light was still glowing. So why did the hallway light flicker like that? She grabbed her phone and ran to the stairs. "Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Parker," she called out, but no answer came. The crying grew louder. It wasn't a baby's cry anymore, it sounded more like a low, broken whimper. Like someone was pretending to cry. Samantha took one careful step up. Then another. The stairs creaked under her weight. When she reached the top, the hallway stretched out before her, lit only by a dim nightlight plugged into the wall. The baby's room was at the very end. The door was open just a crack. She approached slowly, her phone flashlight shaking in her trembling hand. The sound of crying suddenly stopped. Silence. Then, a whisper, faint, almost like a breath. "Don't look behind you." Samantha froze. Every muscle in her body went stiff. She didn't want to turn around. She couldn't. But something cold brushed her hair from behind. She spun around. No one was there. Just the empty hallway. She turned back toward the baby's room, but the door was now wide open. The crib was empty. The blanket was thrown on the floor. And in the center of the room, written on the wall in what looked like red paint, were 3 words. "He watches nightly." Samantha's legs gave out. She fell to her knees, breathing hard. Her flashlight beam caught something shiny on the floor, a small, old-fashioned key. She picked it up, confused. It wasn't a modern key. It looked like something from a jewelry box or a chest bronze, rusted, cold to the touch. Then, from downstairs, the front door creaked open. Footsteps. Slow, heavy, dragging footsteps moved across the hardwood floor. Samantha crawled toward the hallway, heart hammering. She peeked over the banister. The front door was wide open, the cold night air rushing in. The wind whistled through the living room, carrying the faint smell of wet earth and something metallic. She could see him now. A man. Tall. Dressed in a dark coat and hat, standing just inside the doorway. His face was hidden in shadow, but his head was tilted upward, staring straight toward her. Their eyes met. Or at least, she thought they did. Because even though she couldn't see his face, she could feel him looking at her. He didn't move. He didn't blink. He just stood there, watching. Samantha backed away, trembling. She ran into the bathroom, locked the door, and sat down on the cold tile floor, trying to stay quiet. Her phone buzzed in her hand, a text message from an unknown number. "You left the window open." Her blood ran cold. She looked up slowly. The small bathroom window above the sink was indeed open, swaying slightly in the wind. Then she heard it. That same whisper again, close this time. Inside the bathroom. "Don't scream." The mirror above the sink fogged up, even though the air was cold. And on the glass, letters began to appear written by an invisible hand. "He's in the house." Samantha gasped, backing up against the wall. The lights flickered again. She could hear the floorboards creaking outside, footsteps moving closer to the door. Then, silence. She waited. 10 seconds. 20. A full minute. Nothing. Finally, she unlocked the door and peeked out. The hallway was empty again. The front door closed. The baby's room quiet. Everything was still. Had she imagined it all? Was she losing her mind? She walked back into the living room, trying to steady her breathing. Her phone buzzed again, another text. "Check the camera." She frowned, then remembered the Parkers had a baby monitor camera connected to their Wi-Fi. She opened the app. At first, the screen was black. Then static. Then an image appeared. The baby's crib. The empty room. And in the far corner, the figure of a tall man slowly turning toward the camera. He had no face. Just a smooth, pale surface where his features should have been. And yet, somehow, Samantha knew he was smiling. The app suddenly crashed. The screen went black again. A knock came at the front door. This time, louder. And a voice, deep, calm, too calm, spoke from the other side. "You found the key. Open the basement." Samantha's hand shook as she looked down at the small bronze key still clutched in her palm. The air in the room grew colder. The shadows stretched across the walls, like they were alive. Her phone buzzed one last time.